hidden.
Hi there.
Hi, we were seeing whether or not it lagged again.
Yeah, it lagged. We did a test
lagging.
and it
I was
lagged.
frozen like this. That's the exact stance.
Welcome
It was crazy.
to episode 2.
It is episode 2, and let me tell you, it's episode 2. Much has happened this week.
Facts.
A lot.
I thought last week couldn't get any worse.
Last week didn't get any worse because we're actually in a new week now, love.
Yeah, but okay, well, we got worse.
It did, it all got
Whatever
worse.
the week is, regardless.
Not for me, though.
It got... Well, I mean, you were there too.
Yeah, but I had a fantastic week. Myself.
Just rub it in then, that's fine. No drama.
It's not always about all of the misery.
Well, do you know what? When you've not got much positivity, it seems to just be focused around
You're
negativity.
all bloody glass half full, aren't you?
Yeah, I'll try to be, but it keeps getting drank. Someone keeps drinking it. Someone wants me dead.
Yeah, it was your car.
It is my car. My car wants me dead, and you and Mimi along with me.
Driving along. Beep beep. Scrooge scrooge. No brakes. Imagine it. On a motorway. Puts her foot down. On the brake. And it doesn't work. Then what? What happens then? That ain't in the handbook, is it?
I know this is a bit TMI, but my fucking intestines dropped out my arsehole. I said I'm going to die.
Yeah, honestly, our bum opened up in a way that cannot be explained. It's not very good.
It's not. But you know what? I'm trying not to think about the thousands of pounds of damage that I'm going to have to pay for, so let's move on.
We live and we learn.
Well, I don't think that's a learning curve for me.
We live and we learn. Don't ever drive a car that is broken even though you didn't know it was broken.
Right,
Don't ever make that journey again.
But I don't think I will be in a hurry, to be honest.
It's terrible. She won't even go to the shop now. She's terrified.
I'm walking everywhere, guys.
She's scared for her life.
Yeah.
Honestly.
And do you know what the worst part is? I feel a bit lost.
Without your car or just in general?
Bit of both, I think.
Why?
I just feel like someone's got it out for me. Like, really?
Well, it ain't me.
Well, I know it's not you. You have my best interests in heart.
I wouldn't say best.
That's
at least good ones, though.
You know, you record a podcast with a girl and she can't even wish you the best.
I do wish you the best.
Do you know what? That's what my ex said to me last week, and then I nearly died.
Well,
so,
your ex. Don't go spreading them rumours.
No, you're not my ex.
She did nearly die, though. So that's kind of fucking crazy as a way to just end off the week, isn't it? Like, oh yeah, I might just kill myself here.
Well, no, I didn't want to, actually.
I recorded it, though.
I actually said I'm having a great time. My girl said, nuh-uh.
She said, I'm on the up. The car said, you went.
The car said, I'm going to throw you off the edge.
Yeah.
And I said, you know what, at that point, when your car's got it out for you on top of everyone else, you may as well just take it and let it happen.
A lot of people had it a bit... Oh, actually, at the start of the week, something terrible did happen to this whole city. I get a phone call.
Something terrible didn't actually happen.
Well, it could have. Well,
yeah,
I don't even know what happened.
I was a little bit...
I was asleep.
Nervous, actually.
And then I wake up because I've got a phone call. Ring, ring. I said, hello.
Yeah.
One eye open. So, in fact, I said... the other end of the phone.
Who was it?
It was the father of my child.
Brilliant.
He said, I know I'm going to be there 9 a.m. for childcare, but there is a suspicious package in town. Half of Knots has been wrote off.
Was it his?
Innit? It is suspicious. I said, hang on. And sir, I said, when will you be here? Because that's all I was worried about.
So he's taking care
not
of
the whole
child.
Knots blowing up. I just said, well, how late are you going to be? But yeah, they cornered off the whole of Nottingham for that. Turns out, apparently, it was just a bag.
Someone just left their rucksack, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, you've got to be safe nowadays, though.
Yeah, but realistically...
Because imagine going into Greggs and getting blown up. You just don't want it, do you? Any people could have died.
That's got to be crazy.
It's the many or the few.
It is the many or the few. I don't really feel like much badness has happened apart from that.
Yeah, that's terrible news.
I mean,
we had a road trip together.
We did.
We had multiple, but we had my housemate moved out, so we had a little road trip.
We did.
To move her into a new house.
That was fun. It got treated to Mackey's for that.
And she works at Mackey's. She works hard for us.
She does.
All them extra pickles I asked for, she's putting on my burgers, apart from the times where she ain't working and I use her discount.
Yeah, she does. She puts a graft in.
She does put a graft in. And now she's moved in with a girlfriend. Such a lesbian move.
Such a lesbian move because they've not been together that long.
Yeah, but they're happily in love.
Well, yeah. I'm not saying it's wrong.
They're off.
I'm saying it is a lesbian move.
Very lesbian move.
It's a quick move, and you wouldn't catch straight people doing that.
No, you really wouldn't. I think if you catch straight people doing that, you're like, they're crazy. Lesbians, you're like, oh, you left it a while, didn't you? It's been a week. You know what I mean? Oh, if you're not moved in yet, it's been 4 days.
Yeah, facts. Oh, what, you going home?
Yeah.
That's after your first date.
No, that's so me. That's me. That's me when Georgia says, I have to book an Uber. I say, I hope it's to the shop and back. Because you must come
I
home.
hope it's a round trip.
I said, you do
Otherwise,
not
I'm not
understand.
gonna be
You
happy.
cannot leave. It makes me so sad.
It's not good, is it, really?
This is how much of a lesbian I am. I always say I'm in a long distance relationship.
That's crazy.
She
half an hour away in
lives
the
half
car.
an hour away, but it's not in my house, so that's long distance for me.
Whereas I actually did. In fact, apart from when I lived here, all of my relationships have been long distance.
Yeah, you need to grow up.
Don't worry, it's not going to happen again.
You heard it here first. Do you know when she gets into another one?
When I'm in a long distance relationship next week, forget
it
I said
better
this.
not be next week, because I
No,
know
it
you
won't
won't
be
be
next
turning up to the pod because you'll be in Hull. Alright, sorry, Scotland.
Scotland's crazy.
How long do you think you go?
The longest I've been in a relationship with someone was 6 hours.
The longest you've been in the relationship was 6 hours.
The longest distance, how do I word it?
The furthest away somebody had lived from you whilst you were in a
Yes,
relationship with them was 6 hours away.
that,
And
yeah.
that is fucking criminal.
Yeah.
Because
But
you
then
can get flights to, like, I don't know where in 6 hours.
Yeah, but you're forgetting that I lived in Devon. That's like 6 hours away from anywhere.
Not 6 hours away from Devon. You could have just got a girlfriend in Devon.
There's no lesbians in Devon.
I know some people here are watching, sitting there thinking.
If you're a lesbian in Devon and you're around, let me know. I might move back. Actually, I won't. I'm sorry. I'm giving you false hope. It's not
Yeah,
gonna
no,
happen.
she never wants to move back, I won't lie.
I have no filter.
Yeah, she just says things. The amount we had to cut out of the last one was crazy.
Yeah.
It's not very good.
It's crazy, really, what happened with that last one.
I don't start again.
I just think it's funny. Anyway.
Oh, no, wait, we must discuss this.
Oh, okay, we're discussing it now, are we?
Yeah.
Okay.
So basically, we posted some clips on TikTok of the last podcast before it was posted. And one of those clips was talking specifically about a date that Emmy went on, the IKEA date.
Oh, the full name.
Yeah, you get a full name for this one. And the girl who she took on this IKEA date commented on the TikTok, I've never seen Em go through such a range of emotions. She said, I'm scared, I'm laughing, I'm crying, I don't know what's going on, I'm panicking a bit actually. It was rough.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
I just, honestly, the people pleaser in me came out. And I said...
Yeah, but we actually have no problems with that girl at all, do we? So.
No, I have, like...
We just thought it was a really funny story. I just think it's hilarious.
If you are out there listening, that's not what gave me the ick. I didn't actually get the ick from you.
No.
In fact, if anything, that story was wholly the ick about me, because I didn't make a move.
No, it was just really fun. She gave me the ick when she told me that she took you to IKEA. I'm sorry. Get back in touch, she'll take you to Greg's.
No,
Might be able to treat you to a B&Q trip this time round.
I'm not taking you to Greg's or B&Q, but if you're lucky, I'll take you to B&M.
Big candle. You can get big candle.
And I'll get you one of them burning candles, you know, the ones that crackle. I'm anxious for you days, do you know what I mean?
Your belly's doing flips.
Yeah, it's calmed down a bit now, actually.
Was it?
Last night when I was in the tow truck with the guy, fuck me.
You were just shitting?
Well, I felt like I was gonna, and I said keep it in because he's offering you sweets and fags.
Which is a problem, by the way. She's got into this recovery van with a random man. Just
No,
giving
it
her...
wasn't random. He worked for the AA.
I know, but she's just giving her...
Exactly.
He just gave her sweets and fags. She's got into a car with a stranger and then took sweets off him. That is like...
Do you know what, though? Do you know what's funny? I put an Instagram story on my personal account of the fact that I was stuck on the motorway.
Yeah.
And one of my friends messaged me on Instagram and was like, oh, be careful. She's an electrician. She was like, one of my clients that I was doing electrics for spiked me the other week. And I was like, what? She was like, yeah, so don't take anything from him. And I was like, that's crazy. I've just taken 3 sweets and 2 cigarettes. I was like, fuck, I'm going to die again.
You said it's too late now. The arsenic is hitting the system. I'm
said
done.
if I didn't die in my car, I'm going to die now.
Oh, God. Yeah,
No,
well,
he was actually really sweet. He was a legend.
She also spoke to my mum. And my mum said, you've been groomed. Nothing happened.
Nothing happened.
You took a sweet, you've been groomed.
Yeah. Oh, she is a bit dramatic, your mum.
Did I ever tell you about the aubergine thing?
No.
So my brother, he's done it a few times now. My brother has done it a few times where instead of messaging his girlfriend, he's messaged my mum.
Oh no, not the aubergine and your mum.
So he's clearly gone to go send it to his girlfriend, but he's put like the aubergine emoji, like the eggplant emoji, and then put tonight with a question mark. Sent it to my mum. My mum doesn't know what this means. Yeah.
Right.
So instead of like ringing him, messaging him, whatever, she's gone to the shop. She's got him 4 aubergines and took them to his house. knocked on the door, said hello. He said, hi. She said, I have bought the aubergines for the evening. And he was like, why have you done that? She was like, you sent me this. And he was like, oh no, Mum, that's not what that means. And I think if I was him, I'd just be like, oh yeah, thank you so much.
You just
That's
take
exactly...
them and move on.
Yeah, but then he started to clue up, and he was like, okay, maybe I shouldn't tell her what it means. So he was like, oh yeah, thank you. And she was like, well, I bought them, so what are we making? His girlfriend was on the way, and she made him make a full ratatouille from scratch. She was. And then he eventually told her what it meant, and she was like, that is disgusting. Why would you invite me round for that? And she was like, well, I didn't mean to send it to you.
I feel like that's so your mum though.
Yeah, my mum doesn't have a clue.
She's funny.
Yeah. My mum accidentally became a pedo in Matalan once, didn't she?
How do you accidentally become a pedo?
She had surgery done, and she wanted to try on a new coat, but she wanted to take a jumper off first. She forgot that she didn't have a bra on because she couldn't wear anything underneath the jumper. Yeah. So she goes to take it off so she can put the coat on. She just whacked her tits out in the middle of Matalan. This kid's staring at her. She turns round, before she's even put her tits away, turns round to his mum and is like, I'm so sorry, I'm not a pedo, I didn't mean for this to happen. Maybe put your tits away before you say that to her. You're going to slap her in the face.
She wanted to apologise. You can't blame her. You don't want people in Matalan thinking she's a pedo.
Accidental pedo as well, that's the worst kind.
Yeah, no one wants that.
No, nobody does want that. So first tit I ever saw was when I was watching Titanic with my nan. She waxed tits out in it.
I thought you meant your nan waxed her tits out. That's so strange.
She bloody loves the Titanic.
She said, woo!
She said, yippee!
Especially when they're drowning.
Who was your first celebrity crush then? Ever?
Oh, I know this. Easy peasy lemon squeezy.
Easy peasy squeeze off the lemon.
Take a wild guess.
Miley Cyrus.
Absolutely.
First ever?
Yeah.
Even when you were younger?
I watched Hannah Montana.
Yeah, true.
I was obsessed with her. In fact, I still am obsessed with her. So I just think...
You just love her so much.
I do.
Do you know what one of my first one was? I was watching Pirates of the Caribbean with my brother, and...
She said bye, Renee.
Sorry, she was breathing into the mic. I was watching Pirates of the Caribbean with my brother and my sister was like, oh my god, Orlando Bloom, isn't he so fair? And I was like, I'm not sure about that, but here's Mrs. I'll take her. Elizabeth Swann, Keira Knightley and that, and I said fine. And then I watched Bend It Like Beckham and I said double fine. Which is crazy because now I look at her and I'm like...
I think she's still good looking.
Yeah.
I don't think, if I had to rate her, she'd be at the top. No offence, if you ever see this, which you probably won't.
What, so is she still... Well, who's your top crush now? If you have three now, top three.
Miley will always be at the top. I'm sorry, I'm just obsessed with her.
I can't imagine her being a top player.
I don't know, I feel like she's one of those celebrities that, you think probably could be. But then, when you really look at them, you're like...
Really porn star vibes on set.
But I feel like it would be so extra, to the point that it's, fake, porn fake.
Yeah, exactly.
Which no one wants, so I don't want to think about it. I just like to keep her tucked up in there.
Yeah.
I don't want to think about anything more, I just fancy her.
I also think that about the Kardashians. When I look at them, I think, I bet you do the most in bed.
Well, I sometimes think that, but then I look at Courtney and I think, you definitely don't do anything.
But then she's the freakiest, really, isn't she? Publicly.
Yeah, but she only with Travis.
Yeah, but I bet they do the weirdest shit.
Yeah, I bet they do now.
He definitely puts a drumstick up her ass. 100%.
I love my career. I love my career.
Keep on the beat.
Yeah, I feel like... I don't know. I feel like Kendall wouldn't do the most. I feel like
Kendall's gay.
Facts. Kendall is gay.
And if she isn't, then what the hell?
Because,
one of them's got to be. There's 20 million.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. One of them, I've always said this. How have they got this big of a family, right? And don't get me wrong. I know Caitlyn Jenner is a trans woman, but...
No lesbians.
No, there's no lesbians. And also, Caitlyn Jenner is also not really a Kardashian.
Caitlyn Jenner also is a fucking nightmare.
Yeah, facts.
Caitlyn Jenner came out as a trans woman, says that she only sleeps with women, and then said she's straight.
I remember when she said, I've only ever fancied women, and then Kim was like, so if you're a woman now that fancies women, are you gay? She was like, no. So
she is the most transphobic, homophobic trans person. I just don't know. How does that happen to somebody?
I have no idea, but I don't understand how you
but
can
didn't they also, I swear she hit somebody with a car, and they died or something.
Yeah, but wasn't that ages ago?
Yeah, she just got away with it.
But they get away with everything.
I know. Imagine having that sort of money, though. Wish that was me. It's not me. Well, anyway, top 3. You said Miley.
Miley.
I feel like one of them's going to be Fletcher.
Fletcher's always going to be up there. And don't get me wrong, I know some people like her, some people don't, right?
I don't.
But I'm not being funny. The girl's fit. And that is how my brain works.
You said I like her.
I fancy her.
Okay, third one.
I know there's people out there, but I just can't think of any. I know we spoke about Billie Eilish the other day, and I do think Billie Eilish is fit.
I like her, I like her music, but I don't look at her and I'm not attracted to her.
That's because people say you look like her, which is crazy.
It makes me feel sick, because no I don't. I wish I did.
Yeah.
Yeah. You said I wish you did as well.
I don't. Then we'd have a real problem on our hands.
Billie Eilish is like one of those people, the vibe I get, the looks I'm not massively for me.
I think she's got a good vibe too.
I think you're more of a light eyes, dark hair.
Yes.
Yeah. Like Megan Fox.
Yes.
Would she be in your top 3?
Yeah, she probably would be in my top 3 now you mention it.
Have you ever watched
Yes.
Jennifer's Body?
Yes.
So good.
Yeah.
But why didn't they fuck?
I have no idea.
It's the same as Bend It Like Beckham. Why didn't they fuck?
Well, I don't know.
Mind you, part of Bend It Like Beckham, I think, was to try and get away from the stereotype that all female footballers are gay. But also, most of them are.
Not all of them, though.
Majority.
Like 70%.
And that's too many.
I don't think it is. I think, especially for the football lesbians, like the lesbians that love a lesbian that plays football.
That's not football lesbian, then, is it?
Yes.
But it's the same as, I think, that, from what I've heard, I've never been with a football or a rugby lesbian.
Mm.
But everyone I know that's been with them have been like, they are. It's terrible.
What?
Like, they're toxic as fuck.
Oh, yeah.
Which I'm a bit, football men, I get it. But
I think the football, any sport community, I think, is toxic, though. So
netball.
I saw some golfers
I know a girl from Ipswich.
No, but you know my first long-term relationship?
Yeah.
She played football. Not that she was an arsehole, but...
She was bad at it.
But I do genuinely think, from what I've heard, especially football and rugby, they're very toxic sports.
Which is just crazy to me, really.
I don't play.
I don't know, I just thought that they would be less toxic.
I tried to take up football once. It wasn't for me. Too much running.
I can't fucking imagine that. You'd look like a running lamppost.
I remember I was on the training pitch with like the rest of the team. Obviously, it wasn't just there on my own. And I ran to get the ball, and someone else also ran to get the ball, and I just stopped and went, "Yeah, go on then."
That's crazy. You said you're upset. And also, get your tits out.
No, I didn't fancy her. I just didn't want to butt heads with her trying to get the ball, so I said, "No, it's all yours."
Did you? Well, you did gymnastics, didn't you?
Well, I tried.
I did track.
Not you being a runner. You'll lose your A, you know.
Track start. Yeah, so I did track, I did netball, and I did... What else did I do? Oh, I did just athletics in general, so I did like long jump and stuff.
Yeah, you see, I was never the sporty one. Every time they used to bring the sports day sheets round at school, I used to run away and hide in the toilet.
That's not for me.
And do you know what? There's enough bullying going on at school. I don't need to be taken the piss out of because I've got long legs.
Oh my god, there was this girl at our school, bless her, talking about hobby horsing, right? One time, so we used to have a big, forest at the back of our field.
Mm.
And some, people used to go in there to, smoke fags and stuff.
Mm.
So I'm on my way to go smoke a fag.
As you should be.
I'm on my way, and I go through the side bit of the forest instead of straight on. So I've gone through the side bit. There she is, with her mate, pretending to be a horse, jumping over logs. I said, anyway, so you'd think this girl would be good at hurdles, right? She signed up for hurdles in sports day. She's running, honest to God, when I tell you. I'm so sorry if she ever sees this, but she was running. She got her foot caught in the first hurdle. Head fell straight onto the second hurdle. Then she flipped round, so she's pulled the other hurdle back with her leg, and it's landed square on her head, knocked herself clean out. Said, this cannot be good. And her mum's still there. You're doing great. I said, I can't. Is she?
She's died.
God, it was I was crying. I said, this cannot be. Somebody please get this girl a medic. It won't.
Lucy,
you do that every single day of your life. You jump over logs, and you're telling me you can't go over that stick.
Stick?
Yeah, she has very limber legs as well. Very long legs.
Not like you.
Not like me, I'm stumpy. All over.
Right, moving on.
Hang on.
Oh, sorry.
Do you want to hear my celeb crushes?
Yes, I do actually.
Kalani.
Well, they'll probably know who yours are. Kalani, Chapel Roan. Roan?
Don't ever disrespect her like that.
Kalani, Chapel Roan.
Known.
No. Roan. And you might have to give me the last one.
It's tricky for me. I think it's Kalani, Chaperone, and Jodie Comer. I think.
Oh, I forgot about Jodie Comer.
Yeah, I do fuck with Jodie Comer.
I know you do. I remember you telling me when we first became friends.
And then when me and Georgia were watching, the film she was in, and in it she gets her tits out. Georgia turned the telly off. She said, we cannot continue. And
do you know what? Valid from her.
And she said to me, she got up a picture of Kalani and she said, oh yeah, because I look like her, don't I? I said, that's crazy.
Listen, Georgia.
It's not all about the looks, it's the vibe she gave off.
I thought you were talking about Georgia, then I was like, most stop.
Yeah, no, absolutely not. Oh yeah, my girlfriend's fit as fuck. That's not the point.
You were like, it's not all about, I was like, stop.
But then she can't say anything because she fancies fucking Sabrina Carpenter and Taylor Swift. Do I look like them?
Oh, she's not a Swiftie.
She's a Swiftie.
Oh God. Georgia, you've gone
it's
down
a rough
in my
time
estimations. Ready for weekly what the fucks?
The bullies are everywhere.
Fucks.
Oh, talking about bullies.
Yeah.
Becki Jones.
Yeah.
Becki Jones has been bullied off TikTok, and I won't forgive any of you who are rating in her fucking comments because I loved watching her what I eat in a day.
She did. She really did. Sorry, the cat's back.
Sorry, hang on. She wants to be involved. She said rights for Becki Jones. She has been bullied off the internet, and I won't take it any other way.
I know. I did watch her. I did. Videos. When you mentioned it, I didn't know anything about it. Yeah, I'm not really a TikTok girl at the minute, to be honest. I go through phases, but I did go and watch the like her video saying she was coming off of social media, and there's so many people like, oh, this is a like
it's a ploy.
Yeah, it's part of her plan. I'm not being funny. Why can't people just accept that people want to remove themselves from toxic situations?
Yeah, literally. She would post, right, so say like she was like, oh, I've gone out today, and she'd just be like it'd be like a video of her walking on the beach, and somebody would be like, yeah, you're a fucking whale, you belong in the water. Do you know what I mean? And it's just like, give the girl a fucking break. Literally. She's just trying to live a life. And then, like, she would, when she posts those, like, what I eat in a day, she would post that, and she would get so many negative comments. And I genuinely don't think she used to eat that badly. Like, I just don't.
Even if she did.
Whose business is it?
Whose business is it? Obviously, she is putting it online, but just fucking move on.
Yeah, but she would post
unfollow her. Go do something productive with your time.
Like fucking horrible things, like really, really horrible things about the way she looked, but not even just about the way they like death threats in the comments. So it was just ridiculous. But then you'll see the same content come from a girl who's skinny, and all the comments are so like positive. They're all like, haha, oh my god, I wish I could eat this much and stay this skinny. And like,
can I just throw something out here, right? As someone who, 1, has an eating disorder, 2, has been anorexic, and 3, is still rather skinny. People favour being skinny over being curvy, over being bigger. Do you know what I mean?
People think skinny means healthy.
It does not mean healthy. But if you're taking the time to go and put someone down about their body, you live a sad, sad, sad fucking life. Yeah, grow up and go and do something else.
And I think I'm I don't really think, like, when I meet somebody, I don't think fat or thin. I'm just like,
and I'm not being funny, but
you're either a cunt or you're not.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And most of the time I'm not being funny, but the people that are happy with themselves and just accept themselves for who they are nicer people, and they're just much more fun to be around. Yeah, so just go and get yourself a life.
Who wants to be around a skinny cunt? And who wants to be around a fat cunt? It don't matter how big you are, you can still be a cunt.
You still have, it's your personality that's people like to be around.
But they just bullied her off it for literally no reason. I was just like, because she was just like, oh, I'm leaving because social media isn't good for my mental health. And then people are commenting being like, well, she's doing this for a ploy. She's literally just told you she's depressed because people are being fucking horrible to her.
But you know what gets me as well? And I know this is really not like what we'd planned to talk about, but it really actually grinds my gear. I'm getting angry now. Do you know what really annoys me? People will bully and bully and bully and bully until they commit suicide or try and commit suicide, and then everyone's like, "Oh my god!" Like your content was my favourite. I've never had a bad word to say about you. Yeah. Fuck off.
Have you ever had that with people you went to school with?
Yeah,
I've had that. I just think it's so.
Fuck off! I'm not being funny. You user 077694.
Yeah, you did never this. Have a fucking face.
Yeah, you did this.
Yeah, literally.
Grow up and go away.
Do you know what is crazy? I went through a bit of in my defending Becky Jones streak, I went on to one of the profiles of somebody who commented, and the person, it was a woman, who commented something like, you fat ugly fuck, no wonder you're single, or something fucking crazy, right? I've gone onto her TikTok, because I thought, who's this then? Coming at my Becky Jones. So I've gone onto her TikTok.
Special friend.
I've gone onto her TikTok. This woman was like posting this video about how her fella had gone and fucking cheated on her and done this, that and the other, which is obviously not positive.
No.
Her fella had gone out and cheated on her and this, that and the other. The next one is her rolling a spliff next to her child. And I just thought, who are you?
But this is the other thing that annoys me. One, that is terrible. I'm not being funny. Let me know the username. I'll report them to social services. But also, as women...
Why are you putting other ones down?
Yeah, why are you putting other women down? I know this sounds so cliche coming from a lesbian, but I expect it from men, because men they're just fucking stupid.
They're cunts.
Yeah, they are. But as women, why are you not supporting other women? You know other factors get involved with our weight, our mental stability, like...
It's so funny when you see women go like fat phobic or body shaming or whatever, and then they post stuff on their fucking Instagram story that like, everyone is beautiful. But you didn't think that when you saw a slightly overweight woman.
And I'm not being funny, but let's say I was like fat phobic or whatever, because I'm smaller.
Yeah.
In 10 years, I could be fucking huge.
Literally.
Like, anything
I used to
could
be
happen,
a fucking stick.
And then it might be you in that situation, and you've got people calling you that. So why don't you just like think about whether you'd like to have someone say that about you?
And they never would.
And then just don't do it. Do you know what I mean?
Just nasty people. So basically, Becki, please come back.
Yeah,
I miss you so much. I want to see what you eat in a day, and I also want to see you make that hot chocolate.
And I'm not being funny, Becki, but if you want to come on our podcast,
you can.
Yeah, you can.
We love you.
Yeah,
we'll support you.
We will, and we'll back you up.
I want you to make me your hot chocolate,
and I'll have whatever you have for dinner.
What you eat in a day, I'll also eat in a day. As long
whatever
as
you want to do. I'm not being funny, but you have got the followers. But also, come and be our guest. We support you. We've got you back. Don't listen to the haters.
Don't listen to the haters. They're all fucking cunts. The ugliness is on the inside for them.
Yeah.
Horrible little bastards.
Souls are rotting away.
Yeah,
dirty little bastards.
I just don't get it, because you also know she's one of those people that if she like suddenly like lost all this weight, got dead skinny, everyone would be like, oh, she's beautiful.
Yeah, but she's beautiful.
Do you
now.
know what? Yeah, I know, but like it's just fat phobia in it, and people won't accept that. They won't say it's fat phobia, but it is. It's like, have you ever who was Adele? Like, she was obviously like bigger before, and people used to come at her with every fucking comment under the sun. Now everyone's like, she's beautiful, she's stunning, because she's lost weight.
I just think, right,
people's faces change as you get older anyway.
Yeah, they do. And I'm not being funny. If you don't, no one's asking. No, literally no one asked.
Literally
no one.
Not one person asked. Oh yeah. So I saw another thing which is crazy, which really
is this still under weekly what the fucks?
Yeah.
Okay.
Trump.
I didn't.
Is a massive gun.
We all knew that.
So basically, the US has been put under a watch list for this human rights thing, because the laws Trump's bringing in are violating human rights. It's like he wants to take away the right for an abortion. He's saying that trans people can't be in the army. He's saying, like, he's trying to take away... there was something else to do with gay rights, but he's taking it from people. And I think Trump is genuinely one of those presidents who's going to come into power and he's literally going to ruin it to the point he can. Like, he will take everything he can. Apparently he was posting photos of, like, I don't know what it was like some sort of war that they won, and there were black soldiers in that war, and he has purposely cut out the black soldiers in these pictures, so it's just the white soldiers.
Do you know what?
It's a horrible
If there's one man
I could shoot in the head
that I would love to just...
Somebody tried to kill him and missed. How annoying.
I don't know. But if someone can just... I don't have any money.
If I could pay for a hitman, I would.
If someone can do us all a favour and just go just right there.
It's just... America is such a joke. Like, it's just... How are you such a forward country but so backwards? And then this is why people like fucking Andrew Tate get born into the fucking world and people start following him. Which is crazy because a lot of young kids do now. Like 15, 16-year-old boys are all about fucking Andrew Tate, and he's a horrible, misogynistic little prick.
Why can't people just be normal?
I don't know. They're all hateful. They're very hateful people.
I know, it's a very hateful world.
And he looks like a fucking egg that's grown hair. barely any hair, may I add. Andy got done for human sex trafficking, and you still got men in the comments, well, let bitches be bitches. What? Grow up!
Yeah.
But then you see, like, men like that, I don't think people understand how scary that is. Because these men, these influencers that are like that, are almost raising your children. You know what I mean? Girlfriend update still there. I love you so much.
I wonder if I'll ever find anyone to marry.
Oh, fucking hell, she's
Probably
depressed.
not in the 3% of the gay population of the world.
Yeah, she found that out. She's depressed about that.
I am. Well, I'm not depressed about it. I just think it's crazy.
She found out that only 3% of the gay population,
of the 8 billion people on this planet,
gay, and she doesn't think that that's a lot of people, but it is like millions.
No, I do. I accept the fact that it's a lot of people, but if you think about how big,
I know, but then if you also take into account a lot of the third world countries don't actually have like a gay population really, because a lot of it's not okay there.
But that doesn't mean there's
so
not a
most
gay
of them
population.
are in Europe.
Yeah, and I understand that, but I just think how 3%.
No, she's just a lonely girl.
Well, I'm not lonely. I've got you, and I've got my mother and my dog.
That made you sound lonely. Not you. I've got 2 people and a dog.
No, I've got a lot of people that I can like turn to, but there's nothing quite like.
There's nothing quite
your soulmate, you know?
Yeah, fuck. Can't relate, love. I've already got mine. Sorry. You snooze, you lose, Spooky.
I've been trying.
Maybe you'll find yours at the next Pride. The first time I saw Georgia, I screenshotted her profile. She was the profile, I screenshotted it. I sent it to you. I sent it to Lee. And I captioned it, I'm either going to marry this girl, or this girl is going to be my biggest loss. And I sent it to you both. I said this will be over. And now look. So maybe I manifested that.
Okay, I don't think you should speak. Like, I have full faith, and like I've said to you before, I ship you and Georgia fully.
We ain't gonna break up.
But just, Georgia, don't do anything. Georgia, please. Don't break her heart. Because then we're both going to cry, and then what?
Why are you going to cry?
Because I'm sad too. Girls get sad too.
Isn't it?
I'll be sad for you if you and Georgia were to break up, because I know how much you love her.
Yeah, and how much she loves me. You're right, Brooke. Don't say that.
No, I wasn't going to say that. I was going to say that I don't know her as well as I know you. I think
the reason why we work so well is we're over we can't be arsed with the bullshit of it.
With the dramas.
Yeah. Oh, we found a new Sob Sisters.
We did. Well, actually, no, you did.
So I was looking for some agony aunts that people have come to other people with, and I saw this one article, and this woman had wrote in, and she said, she's in like her 30s. She's never had an experience with a woman. This woman,
I think she was straight, wasn't she, until she met this woman?
Yeah, and this woman had also never been with a woman, and so she was like, well, we were actually just friends, but then we got really, really close, and we decided that we wanted to be together, and I thought I knew everything about her. She was my best friend, blah, blah, blah. They ended up getting into a relationship, and then she turned around and was like, I need to tell you something. I've got a job. And she was like, oh. She was like, yeah, I'm an escort who sleeps with men and women for money. And I don't want that to affect our relationship. And she was writing in being like, I don't know what to do. I don't know if I'm okay with that. And I was thinking, I don't think I would be either. But also, get your bag. You know what I mean? Like, I fully support sex workers. I fully support people doing that. I don't think I could be in a relationship with somebody who does.
I support them too. I think however you want to make your money, or however you want to have a career.
Like, I think everyone's considered.
Oh, 100%, yeah. But I don't think, and I feel like this is completely okay to say. Like, I couldn't, purely out of my own insecurity and confidence, I personally couldn't be with someone that sees or has sexual interactions with other people.
Yeah. Well, this is the thing, like, I couldn't do that, and I know that's my own problem. Do you know what I mean? That's not their problem.
No, it's not their problem, but I also don't think it's a problem for you to be
it's just a boundary that you set, isn't it? It's just, if you're not okay with that, you're not okay with that.
And at the end of the day, you have to make the right decisions to make sure that you're content and happy and your partner's content and happy.
Yeah.
And if you were to put that boundary aside because you like this person so much, but you are insecure or you don't feel okay about it, it's just going to come back and bite you in the arse, and you won't end up together anyway, because it will cause so many more issues.
I think I've seen some people say that they could be with a sex worker if they were involved. You know, like, if I'm involved in the OnlyFans content, like, they would sell OnlyFans content if the only thing they were selling was their sex tapes. But I wouldn't be comfortable enough to do that for myself. Like, I wouldn't want to be involved. But I also can't, I would want that to be kept for me. You know what I mean?
That, I think I said this to someone the other day, that...
Not that I'd see them in any type of way. I think if you are doing that and your partner's okay with you doing that, you're not 100%. Doing anything wrong there.
The way I see it, right, is, to me, sex or intimacy is a very, very sacred part of a relationship. Like, it's so intimate, it's so, like, special.
Yeah.
And I don't personally feel comfortable with anybody else getting that experience.
Being
because
involved,
to me, it's our time, like, it's our
thing.
Yeah. And I don't think anybody else should be privy to that. And I wouldn't want for me as well, like, I wouldn't want anyone else to see me in that way. Like, naked or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I wish I could, like, erase it from my ex's memory.
Yeah, like, I don't want anyone, for me or for my partner, who, obviously I don't have a partner right now, but my magical one.
You said, they're here.
But yeah, I props to anyone that can do it, because I wish I was that secure.
Yeah, but I couldn't personally, but also, if you can, then fair play. Yeah. It's just not something that, I don't know, it wouldn't even be, like, jealousy as such, it would just be insecurity. I think I wouldn't be able to. Like, I feel like you can trust somebody 100%, but then also there's that line, isn't it? Like, when is it work and when is it cheating?
Well, this is what I mean. I wouldn't be okay with it.
Yeah, but I'm saying, like, say you were with, like, a sex worker,
yeah.
And then they were going out and doing, like, their escorting thing. And then they went on a night out one night, slept with a guy on a whim, but it was like, oh, but he paid me after. What's that? Is that cheating, or is that... Like, it must be, like, a bit of a grey area on what you can and can't do.
Someone recently told me that they had a...
You looked at me like I said it.
No. Oh, my God, no,
absolutely not.
You know who I'm talking about.
Oh, I do know who she's talking about, yeah.
Someone recently told me that they had a little... It just gives me the ick. I think it's disgusting.
I'm also the whistleblower. I've always been the whistleblower. If I find out someone's cheating, I said, fine, I'll ring it. I just can't.
I'm not being funny. I know it would never ever happen. But if I ever found out that you'd done anything like that to Georgia, I would have her straight on the phone. I would say, you need to break up with this cunt.
I could just never. I just don't get it. If I'm not happy, I'll leave. I don't see the point in staying with somebody.
Why are you traumatising someone like that?
Yeah, literally.
That's someone's... If you just leave,
yeah,
with the utmost respect, and say, do you know what? I'm just not feeling it anymore. Yeah. I feel myself gravitating towards other people. Fair enough. Go do your thing. But I just think you're fucking with someone's
mental state.
Yeah, mental state and
it
trust.
Stays with them forever.
Yeah, facts.
Like,
everything I've ever had negatively done to a relationship has carried through, and you don't get your mentality back unless you take these breaks in between to fully fucking work on yourself. She
doesn't do that because she's a lesbian.
I am doing it at this time.
No, I think if you've been cheated on, that sort of mindset, littlest thing will trigger you.
Facts.
The littlest thing. Because I've had cheating where it's been, didn't expect it, or when I've walked in and seen it. I've had cheating where I've repeatedly asked and I've been told I'm fucking psychotic, and then that's been thrown back in my face. And I've also had cheating where I've, like, had to go out of my way to find out. Like, I've had an inkling, and then I've
had all three of those things in one person.
Yeah, fine. Yeah, but that was fucking crazy.
Yeah, that was fucking
crazy. It'll be things like, I'll walk and they'll lock their phone, and I'll be like, why are you doing that? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't like that either. Or they have their, like, brightness right down, or they put their phone, like, or they turn their phone away from you.
Or they're suddenly spending so much time with this one person.
All of a sudden there's, like, this brand new person on the scene.
Yeah, kind of weird. Especially when you've had it where you've been cheated on with a friend who's just a friend.
If I had a partner and I went over to them and I said, me and Molly and Molly's girlfriend went out at the weekend and we bumped into Molly's friends, some of Molly's other friends, and then we got talking and then we became friends, and now I don't know, whatever, we're all going out together or something. That's fully understandable. But if I'm all of a sudden, right, never heard of this person before, and you turn around and say, me and blah blah, and I'm like, hang on a minute,
who's that? Where have you met them?
Yeah, where's that? Who's she come from?
That's the thing. I always just think, where have they come from? Like, literally, where have you met them?
And then you're like, I'm thinking, have I ever heard of this person before? I'm like, I definitely haven't.
Yeah, but then you start, and the worst thing is when you've been made out to be psychotic, when you've been cheated on, when you know. Like, I had it And I was made out to be a psycho because I walked into my girlfriend's room. This was my first relationship. She didn't have her nails painted. She never had her nails painted. She didn't have a sister or anything. I'd gone upstairs into her bedroom. There was nail polish in her room. And I thought, weird.
Suspicious.
But okay. And it was like used. It was like half the bottle full. So it was like often used.
Yeah.
And then we go to this party and she's there and she introduced me to her and she handed me a drink and she had the fucking nail polish on. And I was thinking, right, so you've told me you've not seen any of your friends. And if she's a friend, then why are you hiding that?
Can I just say something about this story, right? I'm not being funny, but if you're going to cheat with someone, and I don't condone cheating.
Be fucking clever.
Who has sex with someone, right, and then paints their nails?
Well, this is the thing, like, why are you bringing that with you?
Why are you doing that?
Yeah, anyway, so I was like, that's suspicious, that's weird. That's suspicious, that's weird.
That's
and
suspicious.
Then I brought it up and I was like, I know that was her fucking thing in your room. And she was just like, oh, what? So my friends can't leave stuff round here? Like she said, she was like, what, you think we're going to fucking have sex? And she's going to paint nose. And I was made out to be a fucking psychopath. And then we go away for a weekend. And this is when it all went wrong. We'd had a lovely weekend. It was the final day. It was a Sunday. We're on the London Eye. And I said, this was really nice. We should do this again. Bearing in mind you're in a pod with multiple people on the Monday, with a lot of people in there.
You said half of London's in there with me, right?
Literally, half of London and their nan. Like, it was rough. And I said, oh my god, this was so nice, we should do it again. And she puts her hand on my leg, as if she's trying to break the news to me gently, and she said, we can't do this again. Why? And she said, you know that girl that you accused me of cheating you with? And I said, yes. And she said, I was. And then, literally, as if in a movie, they announced, hi, sorry, we're experiencing some technical difficulties. You're going to have a 45-minute wait at the top. I'm surrounded by all these people. She got her hand on my leg. She just told me she's cheated on me. I'm sat at the top like, what do I do?
Anyway, I was my first full-on, like, long-term relationship. Moved in with her. Everything was swell. Right? Having a great time. Got a dog, as you do. Got a car together, as you do. Then, all of a sudden, this new person comes on the scene that we were talking about, you know? And I was thinking, oh.
Never trust the new person.
And I was thinking, who's this then? Where's she come from? Never heard of her before.
Where did she come from? Where did she go? Where did she come from?
Exactly. So I was like, brought it up and I said, this is strange. Who is she?
This is weird.
Like, is she, what, who, where, when, you know? And she was like, oh no, you know, she's just someone I went to school with and we've just recently got back in contact. And I was like, okay. And then she started talking about her more and more, and I was like, I'm going to have to say something because it's making me feel insecure. And she started going around to her house and stuff. And I was like, yeah, this is making me feel insecure now. So I brought it up. Obviously, she did the whole, no, she's just a friend. She's not even gay. She knows I'm in a relationship.
The worst, that's what I had. She's not even gay.
She also said, I would love for you to meet her. And I said,
right. I got introduced to this girl at that party.
Yeah.
And she said to me, this girl was like, oh my god, it's so nice finally meeting you. We talk about you all the time. I thought, when she's inside of you? Or
Anyway, where was I?
She wanted to introduce you to
Anyway, okay, yeah. So, I was also, can I just, like, say this? I was very young. I was a child.
She wasn't a child. She was just coming out of the childhood stage.
Yeah, I was. Anyway, so, bring it up. All goes a bit tits up. She's like, no, blah, 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 blah. She's straight. She's this, that, and the other. Anyway, gave me all the excuses under the sun. We get another dog. Because that's obviously the route you take when you're having issues. Not that we were having issues.
It's like when people have a baby to fix this.
Yeah. So we got this dog. The second day of this dog, right? Two dogs now. Second day of the dog being at our house.
Dog day
She says, I'm going to pop off to Hayes' house. Like, so she goes over. She was like, I've got to go and fix a shelf. And I was like, right, we've just got a new dog and you're going to leave me here with two dogs. One's a puppy. To go and fix a shelf for a girl that you don't even really know.
And one of them has worms coming out their bum.
Fact, she did have worms actually, poor little thing. Anyway, she left and I thought, something's not right here. I had a gut, and when I tell you I had an intense gut feeling, I was like, no, something's not right. So I texted her and I said, look, I think I'm going to go and see my mum. Because my mum lived in Devon at the time. And she was like, yes, I think that's best. And I was like,
I've just got two dogs together, you little bastard.
I said, hang on a minute.
You're meant to fight for me.
Well, I was a child. Like, that is part of the reason I think I did it. But I wasn't expecting her to say, yeah, I think that's best. And she just left the house. And I thought, okay, what do you mean? And she was like, I don't know. I just think something's different. Anyway, the story goes on.
Tell you what's different, who's inside you.
Yeah, facts. So anyway, she stays, bearing in mind, right, she's just broken up with me over text. I call my mum. She's like, right, I'm coming up from Devon, which is a 4-hour drive, and it's like 9 o'clock at night. So she drives up, my mum drives up from Devon to pick me up from this house that I lived in. This bitch, right, she stays at this girl's house till 5 minutes before I'm about to leave, comes home, sees me with all my things on the floor, like everything that I own, including the dogs.
Yeah.
She goes, are you taking the dogs then? Yes. I said, yes, I fucking am. And I said, I'm not being fucking funny. But you're a cunt. And I'll tell you what.
You wouldn't even want to leave your dogs.
I then obviously went down to Devon, and I started seeing, we had a joint bank account. And I started seeing that she'd emptied this account where my wages were, can I just say?
Yeah, that's fucking crazy, yeah.
Into this girl's name. It said transfer, and she'd put some of it back in. It said H, blah, 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 sent you whatever. So I went onto it, blah, 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 and I asked her again. Because at this point, I didn't know what was going on, right? I didn't know if we were breaking up for good. There's no, like, admittance to cheating or anything like that. So I was like, what's going on? I want to go home. This isn't my life. I don't live in Devon. I have no friends here. Anyway, go on WhatsApp. She's changed her profile picture to this girl and her. And I said,
I feel the rage boiling.
Yeah, I did. In fact, I was very, very emotional. I've run down, actually.
Yeah. Very shit.
I did shit myself. It's not a good story. Anyway, turns out they're now married. But how are you saying that there's nothing going on and the girl's straight and now you're married to her? Like, I'm sorry. Stop lying.
Lie.
Just admit it.
But basically, her ex cheated on her. She was in a very bad state. And she shit the bed.
I did shit the bed. And I wept. Do you know what? I was in such a state. I was so ill. Like, just mentally ill. And I did a little fart. I did a little fart. And I thought it... Actually, when I woke up, I thought, oh, I've come on my period.
It's a shocking revelation.
I thought, oh, I've come on my...
And then she stood up and her turn fell to her toes.
And I went to the toilet and I looked down and I said, terrible news.
You said I appeared to have shit my pants.
Terrible news. And I was that sad and down. I didn't even know what to do. So I took myself off into my mum's room and I said, Mum. And you know when your mum do that thing when you wake her up in the night, she's like...
Why do they do that?
I don't know. But anyway, I was like, Mum. She did that. And then I went, I've shit myself. And she went, well, that's all right. Just put your pants in the bin and get back into bed.
No, listen. I have been sad. You know, I've been sad in my life. I've never been so sad that I've shit myself.
Being funny. But if you're out there, you're a fucking bellend.
And you owe her a pair of pants.
You do. You owe me a pair of pants. And you could also wrap some of my trauma up if you're around.
That was honestly the funniest story you've ever told me. Imagine being so sad over a breakup, you shit yourself.
Grief and heartache does such weird things to you.
You shit yourself.
I did. It's never happened since.
Yeah.
But I just think it was just... My whole world flipped upside down.
Yeah, it's rough.
It was rough. And I was so young.
That's just so funny. That you went into your mum. Like when you go up to your mum and you're like, Mum, I threw up. That's
exactly what I did.
I've shit myself.
I did. And I had my pants with me as well.
Well, you just holding them. I really wish I was there for that.
If it happens again, I'll make sure I'm here and I'll say, Mum, shit myself.
If you ever do that to me, I'll throw up on you and you've got emetophobia, so it'll be targeted.
If anyone out there has emetophobia, message me, because I'm intrigued to see what your story is.
She said, I'm scared.
Are you scared of sick too? So am I. Right, what's next?
So, STEM situation of the week.
STEMs have so many situations.
Now, I want to say this is a pressing matter, but it's really not. I'm not getting married right this minute.
No.
But I have been thinking about my future.
Can I be your maid of honour?
Moving on. I was thinking, obviously I want to marry my girlfriend.
Mm-hmm.
So we were talking about our wedding.
Mm-hmm.
Now she said to me, would you wear a dress? Now,
I've had this conversation so many times.
Yeah, now I don't think I'd be comfortable wearing a dress. I don't wear a dress in my everyday life anyway. But then I was like, but I don't really want to wear a suit.
Mm.
And I feel like this is probably a STEM situation.
It is a STEM situation. Also, for all the masks, all the...
And
well,
non-binary
maybe not masks,
people
because
too.
I feel like masks probably would wear a suit, but
Yeah.
for anyone that's not...
But some masks you see, like, I think a lot of masks, like, there are some masks who do go to a wedding in a dress.
I genuinely have thought about this, and I don't know what I would do. I honestly
Me neither,
don't.
because, like, I think part of the reason why I even thought about a dress to begin with is just because, like, the experience of going, like, dress shopping. Like, I would love to take my mum dress shopping with me, but also I just wouldn't want to wear a dress.
I don't feel like I would be... People
I don't
always
feel like
say,
I'd look right in
no,
one.
and people always say, like, you should wear whatever makes you feel comfortable, and I'm like...
But also it's your wedding. Like, my comfort is
one,
trackies.
Yeah, facts. And one, is anyone ever really comfortable at their wedding?
No, I don't think so.
Two, like, my day-to-day wear is baggy jeans, joggers, or nothing.
Right? Oh, keep it in your pants, love, keep it.
No.
It's the thrush.
It is the thrush.
She's airing it out.
Baggy jeans, joggers, and a baggy t-shirt.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing I always go. The thing is, I don't think I could wear a suit. I think I could wear, like, trousers and, like, a tux. I think, or, like, a waistcoat. I don't think I would want a full suit, because I don't know. I don't like that.
But I'm also so conflicted, because I'm like, do I want that experience? Do I want to put a white dress on and be like...
I feel like I'll have to try it, like, multiple options.
Like, maybe on the... Like, you know, when you go and try stuff on, maybe you try both and see which one you feel better
but then
in.
I'm like, then you see people who are wearing, like, kind of, like, jumpsuits. And, like, I can see that. Honestly, at this rate, I'm going in shorts. I've had enough. I don't know
what summer wedding it is.
Well, this is the thing, because Georgia knows, well, she doesn't know what type of dress she wants to wear, but she knows she wants to wear a dress. She knows what colour dress she wants. She knows. Do you know what I mean? And I'm just like, oh, I don't have a fucking clue. And then my other problem is, so I feel like this is a very willa problem. When you've got two women getting married, or you're just in a willa relationship, even if it isn't, like, two women, if it's, you know what I mean, non-binary, whatever. And, like, all of my friends, really, apart from a couple girls, most of her friends are girls too, right? So, but then I have, like, so you, my other maths friend, my old housemate, and my friend who is a man. It's like, can I have best men? Is that something I can do?
I feel like you could.
But then also I feel like, you know, like, I'd have bridesmaids who would want to wear a dress and stuff. And then, like, maid of honour and bridesmaids who wouldn't want to wear a dress.
And also, I suppose for you as well, like, just thinking about it, your daughter is a little girl.
Yeah.
Like, she would probably wear a dress.
Yeah.
And, like, if I had a child, I would want to match my daughter as well.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like, what
do you do?
Yeah.
Well, I just think as well, like, do whatever makes you happy at the end of the day.
Yeah, I know, but I just don't know what I'd want.
No, I don't know what I would want either.
Like, I know what sort of wedding I want, I know my guest list, I know all of that,
Yeah.
I don't know.
But then I'm also like, you know, if I did decide to wear a dress, and say I had you as my maid of honour, my best woman or whatever, you wouldn't want to wear a dress.
This is the thing, it's like, because I wouldn't want anyone to feel uncomfortable at my wedding, and I kind of want to do, like, kind of, well, like, I want you to wear what you want, but also you can't just wear what you want. Especially not if you're involved in the wedding. Because, like, Georgia said to me, though, she said, if anybody turns up our wedding in tracksuits or blue jeans, they're going to have to go.
But you know what, Georgia? That is valid.
Fair play. But I don't know. Honestly, I might be wearing tracksuits or blue jeans at this point, because I don't fucking know what to do.
I don't know. I honestly don't know. And, like, you know, when you get into a relationship as well and people are like, what would you wear?
Yeah.
I'm like,
I don't fucking know.
I have no idea.
George will ask me, and I just think, I don't know. It's like, I've got graduation coming up next year. Fuck knows what I'm going to put on. Literally, I don't know.
But then, I know this sounds really weird, but there's also, like, part of me that's like, I want my mum to see me
in a wedding dress. That's what I want. That's why I considered a wedding dress for my mum.
I don't feel like she'd expect it, but it's just something that I would like to give her.
My mum has literally admitted to me, she's told me point blank, that she has planned my wedding since I was 3. And she's always imagined me in this...
That's such your mum thing to do.
Yeah, but she's always imagined me in this, like, big princess dress, and that's just not... If I was going to wear a dress, it wouldn't be a princess dress anyway.
I feel like if I was to wear a dress, which, don't get me wrong, I have considered, because I'm just like, as much as I am STEM, I'm...
more feminine.
not even more feminine, I wouldn't say. I'm not on the mask end of femme.
You wouldn't ever, like, it wouldn't be like you'd never wear anything feminine. Like, you do wear feminine clothes sometimes.
Do I?
Yeah, like, there's some clothes that you would wear that I wouldn't consider wearing because they're too feminine for me, but they're not feminine clothes, do you know what I mean?
I would never wear, like, I wouldn't go out in a dress or a skirt.
Yeah.
Or tights or anything like that.
Yeah.
But, like, I would wear lingerie or stuff like that.
Yeah.
Which I suppose is a female thing to do because you don't see many men wearing lingerie.
Yeah, and if you do, up to 6,
fair play. Facts, do what you want to do.
But I just can't. Yeah, fuck knows.
I don't know either.
But it's rough.
It is a tricky one. So if anyone has, like, any opinions,
yeah, genuinely, if you have any advice,
I'm like intrigued to see what people think.
Yeah, because I think you see it a lot, like, and then I've seen people comment on Twitter. Like, there's this lesbian couple that I follow on Instagram. They're married now. Both of them wore a dress at the wedding, but one of them is more mask. And people commenting, like, why is she wearing a dress? I just think, who are you?
I just, at the end of the day, and I'll live by this forever, it's your wedding. Do what you want to do. Do what makes you happy. Do what makes you comfortable. And if it don't, and people have something to say, fuck them.
I was also thinking, this leads on to the acoustic of the week.
Okay.
I was thinking, right, you imagine you've been talking to a girl for a while, everything's going fucking swimmingly. You've been messaging everyone, like I was when I first started talking to Georgia, and I was like, this is the one, right? And then you've met them, okay, before you've gone on like a little date in the park, and then you're like, no, I want to do something a bit more formal. I'll take them out for dinner at a fancy restaurant. So you say, wear something formal.
Yeah.
You get to this restaurant, you just see their head at first, and you're like, oh, she looks beautiful. And then she stands up, she's wearing a full wedding dress. Now listen, I feel like this is where we're going to differ. Because I feel like that would flag up in your brain and you'd be like, oh my fucking god, what the hell? I would think that is hilarious, and I'd be like, oh, she started as she means to go on.
Well, yeah, but also,
that would not give me the ick. I would find that so funny.
I'm too much of. I probably would just sit down and have dinner, to be honest, because I'm so awkward. I'd just be like,
you'd say, lovely dress.
Where have you got that from then?
No, but this is what I mean, because I would be like, I would think that's so funny.
But here's the thing though. One, this is what will go through my mind, right?
Yeah.
One, where's this dress come from?
Why have you already got it? Or have you got out your way to buy this?
Are expensive, right?
They
Secondly, if this is a dress that you have bought for somebody else and you've worn it on your first date with me, you've bought bad karma.
No, they've bought this dress for the date.
Oh, they've bought this dress for the date.
I think that is hilarious.
I mean, it's funny, but it's also a little bit like...
No, see, I feel like this is why I'd never pick up on a red flag. Because I think that's hilarious. A lot of other people would be like, don't you think they're going a bit fat? I think that's hilarious.
But I'm not being funny. You go on a first date, right? You take Georgia on a first date. Never met her before. She turns up in this wedding dress.
Yeah. I'd say, sorry, I didn't bring my suit.
Yeah, but what if you don't get on?
Then that's even funnier.
No,
it wouldn't be funny if it was Georgia. Actually, I'd kill myself.
Facts, you would.
I'm saying, I just think that's class. Like,
I think it's so funny, but I think if they did it as a joke, funny as fuck, right?
Yeah.
If they've done it like as a serious thing,
they're like actually a nutter.
Yeah, then I'd be like, oh.
Even then, I mean, I've been in worse situations in my life. I also have another acoustic.
Okay,
then this is something because of something you said to me, flagged up in my brain. She's got a thing about people with long nails.
Oh my god, yeah, I do.
She doesn't like it, and not in a lesbian like, oh, I don't like people with long nails because I can't receive from them. In a way where she's like, I don't like it when people have long nails because I don't think they're clean underneath their nails.
Oh, okay. I don't think people with long nails aren't clean.
No, but like there's a lot of germs under your nails.
Yeah, I have emetophobia, right? If I can see, and this applies to myself, if I can see dirt under my nails, or like my nails look dirty or are longer than the skin on my finger, I've got the ick. From myself included. Yeah. I just can't do it.
Yeah.
It's gross.
Well, anyway, so she said this to me, and then I was thinking, you've always been obsessed with Miley Cyrus.
I have.
You've been obsessed with her, okay? You've got a chance, you're going to take it.
Mm-hmm.
She comes to your room.
Yeah. It's not very tidy right now.
You're dirty
Miley,
talking.
come back another day.
Don't worry, I'll pretend to be you. Alright, love. You're looking fucking nice. You're a sort, aren't you? Right?
That wouldn't be me if I met Miley Cyrus.
No, she's like, I love you so much, please take off your clothes. I bet you would be. You just started moaning on the pod. Anyway, so she gets to it, she starts taking the clothes off. And you're like, heart palpitations. You think, oh my god, this is the moment. She pulls off her socks, the longest toenails you've ever seen. Are you still shagging her?
Yeah, I'll just tell her to put her socks back on.
No, she ain't gonna.
I'm
you
telling
think
you
you
now.
could tell Miley Cyrus to put her socks back on?
Listen, if Miley Cyrus ain't got long toenails. Sorry, I'm not willing to accept it.
Okay, but if she did,
Because
because a toenail thing, I feel like that would worry me a bit.
It would worry me. Is this like a relationship
imagine it scratched your
situation?
leg. Imagine you're in between her legs. You know, some girls run their foot,
Stop.
and it's just
No, stop it.
and it's just you've got all these scratches
but
on
it's
your back,
Miley
and they're like,
fucking
"Oh, did she have
Cyrus."
acrylics on?" And you say, "No, that's a toe."
I'm having a bad time.
You know what I mean?
Oh, but it's Miley Cyrus though.
Okay.
I was-
Fletcher. When does it start?
It doesn't.
Okay, like just like a fit girl then.
If I took a fit girl back to my house and she took her
socks
socks off and she had, how long are we talking?
Like nearly curling over.
No, I'm sorry, you gotta go.
You're gonna have to leave. Take your flat back Ikea with you. Do not
I'll
want
say
to see.
I'll give her two options, right? Depending on how fit she was or how much I fancied her.
Yeah.
I'll
Cut
say
your toenails.
you've got two options. I've got a pair of clippers you can borrow, or you can put your socks back on and you can leave.
Really? Even
I'm
if they put their
sorry.
socks back on, you wouldn't continue?
No, not after I've seen that.
Don't count if you have your socks on.
It definitely does count.
I always keep my socks on.
What if I hear a snap in the middle of what we're doing?
Oh no, I think they're sturdy if they've grown out that long.
No, I just make me feel queasy.
Imagine midway through you just say...
Because I'm not being
They're
funny,
biting
right? If your nails are that long, they're most likely like yellow
Fuck.
and like, oh god, no, I don't want that in my bed. I'm sorry, but I'd have to like get a new mattress or something.
New mattress of ripping holes in your
Yeah,
sheet.
they'd be like fucking, what's his name?
Wolverine.
He'd been in my bed. I'd say no.
I've only got 3.
I'm pretty sure he only has
Wolverine.
three things.
Oh, maybe.
But yeah, no, sorry.
Yeah, no, I think I'm the same on that one. I think toenails would really throw me off. But I know you're.
Do you know what I also find really strange?
What?
Men that grow like one fingernail out.
What?
Have you never seen a man that's got like one long fingernail?
I really don't think that's a thing.
I'm telling you, it's a thing. Some men, right? Prove me right, guys. If you've ever met someone...
Why do they do that though?
I don't fucking know. I'm not a man. Not that all men do it. Or I'm not a man that grows one... I don't know, but I've seen multiple men, right? And it's not a regular occurrence. It's not every man I come across. But I have seen a couple of men that just have like one long fingernail. And I'm
But is that intentional?
Well, if you're cutting the rest of them, surely you can see that one's grown to the point of it's got a whole new finger.
Yeah, true.
Do you know what I mean?
I've never heard of that.
Well, it's a thing.
I've seen obviously like lesbians who get acrylics done and then they have like
Yeah, but that's
these
fine.
two.
But I also do think that looks ridiculous. But also,
yeah, I just think if you're gonna do it,
yeah,
get them all short.
Yeah, I do think it looks because I'm not.
Because like, imagine waving and you've got like 2 fingers. You look like an amputee. You know what I mean? On to the next. I have a dickwood or datum for you.
A dickwood.
A dickwood or datum.
I have a dickwood and
a dickwood or datum.
Okay, go for it.
Lady Gaga.
Oh, controversial.
Controversial. Wearing the meat dress. Well, stick it out.
You know, it's hard.
I think she is such an iconic woman and she is so funny.
I think she's funny too. And I think she's also iconic.
Do you know
I don't
what?
think she's a dickhead.
I didn't really fancy her when she was just doing music to begin with. I thought she was iconic. I thought she slayed. I thought she said cunt. But I didn't really think, oh my god, I fancy you. When I watched American Horror Story, in that I said, fine. I get it now.
I don't fancy her. I do think she's funny, and I don't think she's a dickhead. So in this scenario, I'd have to say date her.
Yeah.
Because I think you're going to get a laugh.
You are going to get a laugh.
She can sing. She's not ugly.
She's not ugly, no.
So date her, because...
I think she's so funny.
I think she's funny. I just don't...
She's not, like, conventionally attractive.
No.
But she is
She's
attractive.
also not really my type. I think she's pretty.
I think she's just...
I just don't think she's my type.
I just think she is a funny lady. I was also thinking about... No, I didn't say it. I was thinking about...
That's not like you.
Sabrina Carpenter. Because I thought this one might be a bit tricky for you. Because in, like... You don't listen to her sort of music, do you really?
No, I don't.
You're not a pop girl. But...
I'm a depressed girl.
Yeah, she's just a sad song.
I do like a sad song. No, but I still think I'll date her.
You said she's pretty.
She is pretty. I do think she's quite an attractive lady. And she can sing. Do you know what? I have got a bit of a thing for people that can sing. So I just think, imagine eating your bloody chocolate curl crisp in the morning.
Sorry?
this thing that
Is
I
that
found.
Houston as well?
I know, I found this new cereal in Morrison's and it's really nice. Anyway.
Somebody's serenading you.
I've lied because I think what I meant was
it'd be nice to have somebody who can sing.
Who can sing and like they're just like singing acoustic versions.
Like they're just in the kitchen cooking. Yeah.
I don't mean I want someone to sit and look me in the eye. I think there are 2 datums this week.
Yeah, 2 datums this week. You've done quite well. Tell you what I wouldn't date. You. And that's why we're friends.
Yeah. So that's all. I think
that is all.
We're going to put a poll one after this comes out. We'll put a poll up on the story for
next week.
Yeah.
And I also my cat's doing a madness. I also have a question for everybody watching. I want to know.
Can you seem a bit happier, please? Because you sound like you're about to kill yourself.
I might. So the pod's ended and so is my life. I have a question for everyone watching. I want to know what the weirdest thing somebody's done on a date is.
Okay.
I must know. Because I've had some fucking weird things.
So send us any messages. We'll put the question out.
Or just comment.
When this one comes out.
Yeah.
And we'll...
Because I want to know. I'm a nosy little bastard.
And it gives great content, because I feel like they're things that we can talk... We won't name names, obviously.
Yeah.
But like, they're great things to talk about. And like, how we would react if we were in those situations.
Yeah. Like, I've had... Honestly, there was one involving a prosthetic arm. There was one also involving a prosthetic leg. I've gone through them all.
She loves body parts.
I just love it. So yeah, there's weird things going on in this world, and I want to know what they are.
Yeah. So let us know, and we will leave it at that.
We must know. We must leave. It's time to go to sleep, guys.
Oh, I have to
close your eyes. I'll do some ASMR.
Get an Uber home because I have no car.
She's filmed. Hang on, I'll do some ASMR to say goodbye. Good night. And this is the sheep jumping over the... What do they jump over? A fence.
What? They jump over the clouds, don't they? Okay. Anyway, ta for now.
Bye.